Okay.
Hi guys, today we're going to learn using an analogy if your gut was a fish tank, and I'm just going to give a little credit to Brittany Prendergast and her book Buddha Belly. That's where I got this idea from, so I just wanted to give her a little credit on that. So we'll go to the next slide. And so you have to think of the little microorganisms in your body like a little fish in a fish tank. I'm no expert on fish or fish tanks, but I feel confident enough to use this analogy. A fish tank is its own little ecosystem. If you fill it with the right variety of fish, clean it regularly, plant the right plants, the water should stay clean like this picture to provide enough oxygen necessary for the fish's survival. But next one. With that said, the fish still need to eat, so you must feed them accordingly. Failing to do this will starve the fish to death and throw off the balance of your tank. And then it ends up looking like this picture here. Assuming the tank has a variety of fish, such as bottom feeders who clean them up off the bottom of the tank, you can also see the loss of this life would interfere with the function of the tank. Your body is like the fish in the tank with the bacteria in your gut throughout your body being like the fish. And like the fish, the bacteria need to eat to be strong. If they are not fed or fed their own things, then they become weak and will not optimally contribute to the ecosystem of the tank. If fish are lost, new ones need to be added into the tank to be ordered to maintain that balance. So if your body is like the tank and your microbiome is the fish, then what is the fish food? So I'm gonna use an analogy and an analogy, and I'm gonna use this as the Pac-Man analogy. So your prebiotics, not to be confused with probiotics. Prebiotics are what feed the microbiome. They are your fish food. Prebiotics are plant fibers that the body can't digest. It instead saves these nutrients for the gut bacteria to feed on. Prebiotics are found in whole foods such as fruits, vegetables, garlic, onions, and other plant-based foods. Consuming an adequate amount of healthy plant foods is very essential to maintaining the health of your gut bacteria. Next. So how clean is your tank? So back to probiotics or your fish. Probiotics need to be replenished frequently. And how do we go about doing that? We can take it by doing an oral supplement. So you have two theories that most people think one. One is medicate the sick fish and one's clean the tank. And unfortunately, in our modern age, we are taught to seek medication to put a Band-Aid on the signal that we're seeing instead of following it to its source. So you have to think of this as if you're in your house and your smoke alarm going off, and you know it's because you're not burning your food, there's a fire. If you would take the batteries out, that's a huge sign that something's going wrong. Or all the lights on your dashboard coming off is a sign there's something wrong, you don't keep driving. So we're going more with the theory two, to clean the tank instead of just medicating the fish. So our gut-brain connection is very strong. Our mind-body-gut connection is so strong, it really is all connected. Most people don't realize that all of their anxiety comes from an unhealthy gut. With over 80% of our serotonin being produced in the gut, the need for adaptogens is so huge, since adaptogens help the mind and body, and the gut is directly connected to that. Next one. So I just want to give a quick little fun fact that there are 10 times the number of bacteria in your gut as compared to the number of human cells in the body. Gut bacteria contain 150 times as many genes as our entire genome. Next one. So stress. These days, everyone is having stress, not just women, but men and even children are having huge amounts of stress lately. And gut bacteria plays a role in that. So programming the stress system, it plays a role in programming the stress system from early life and its responsitivity of the stress system. So stress induces increased permeability of the gut, allowing bacteria and bacterial antigens to cross the epithelial barrier. So altering the microbiome, and data from patients with irritable bowel syndrome and major depression indicate that these syndromes have an alteration of the HPA axis and may be induced by leaky gut permeability, increased gut permeability, which is leaky gut. And leaky gut leads to many autoimmune diseases and other gut issues. And I did say the word, you see HPA axis in there. A lot of people don't know what that is, but it's a central stress response system. The HPA axis is an eloquent and very dynamic intertwining of the central nervous system and the endocrine system. So when you're producing too much cortisol from the stress, that can contribute to imbalance, which causes leaky gut also. So that's your connection there with stress in the gut and damages it can do when it's imbalanced. Next one. So we have 6 proven effective probiotic strains that provide 6 billion colony forming units per serving. So I'm gonna probably use a little Cajun twist on some of these names. So we have probiotics, which are much more important and versatile than most people realize. In addition to playing a vital role in our immune system and our digestive and intestinal tract, probiotics are increasingly being studied for their role in other body functions, including mood and circulatory health. Our probiotic IQ is formulated with specific strains studied for their concurrent body and mind benefits. In addition to long proven GI tract and immune system activity, probiotic IQ is combined with a clarifying herb blend, which includes adaptogenic herbs and herbs for mental focus and making our formula truly next generation probiotic. So what that means is it's going to help that stress and all and everything that I just talked about as it's feeding the microbiome in the gut. So we have, I'm just going to quickly go through some of these and tell you a little about each one of these 6 amazing probiotics. So we have Saccharomyces boulardii, and it is viewed by some as the preferred probiotic for conditions of stress, both emotional and physical. It has the ability to introduce active beneficial cultures into the large and small intestines, as well as conferring protection against pathogenic microorganisms. And we also have Lactobacillus helveticus, and it possesses the ability to maintain potency in transit and within the system. It has shown the ability to survive in the stomach's digestive process or in order to reach the intestine's full potency. So what that means is a lot of times some of the probiotics that you take does not go past the gut because it doesn't survive the stomach and the acid in the stomach. And once it's there, it can alleviate the symptoms of lactose intolerance. It exerts antimicrobial activities against pathogens, and it alleviates the symptoms of lactose intolerance, thus helping to prevent and reduce the duration of diarrhea and possible reducing cholesterol levels in the blood. And that's amazing that does that. So we also have Bifidobacterium longum, and that's shown in clinical studies to support improved mood in addition to the traditionally understood probiotic benefits. And it has been described as one of the most significant and important types of beneficial bacteria inhabiting the human body. And in medical studies, it has proven to be very helpful in maintaining a healthy, normal digestive tract, inhibiting the growth of pathological bacteria, and supporting the immune system, balancing pH levels in the system, and effecting repair from the overuse of antibiotics. It is found naturally in a healthy colon and in vaginal regions, and it has been effective in reducing the symptoms of Crohn's and colitis. We also have Lactobacillus casei, and in a recent study of this strain, it showed improved mood-related symptoms versus the placebo group. Specifically, participants expressed a reduction in feeling and anxiousness. It's boosted the immune system in participants who are undergoing academic stress. So you think of exams and a lot of the stress that students are going through. And it also helps protect the body from disease and illnesses by restricting growth of various types of harmful bacteria. Its presence in the gut aids in proper balance of the pH and neuroreceptor health. And we also have Lactobacillus sporogenes. And this is a thermal-resistant strain also that has been studied clinically for a variety of immune and intestinal benefits. So again, we have another thermal-resistant one. So we not only think of not also the atmosphere outside, but the atmosphere inside and the temperatures inside the body, that the bacteria is going to last longer when it's thermal resistant. And it is a strain which has been studied clinically for a variety of immune and intestinal issues. And we also have this wonderful addition of Propionibacterium fraudenrichii. So this one is a slow growth, has low nutritional requirements. It's hardy and it survives a very long time at room temperatures, and it has the ability and efficiency to rapidly adapt to stressful environments, such as the human host. This is an antiviral, antifungal probiotic strain that inhibits the growth of yeast and mold and generates short-chain fatty acids, which protect the intestinal lining. This unique strain produces linoleic acid, which can be converted to DHA or EPA, and also supports absorption of calcium, magnesium, potassium. And it's also the only microorganism that has been shown to produce the active form of B12. So what it does is it helps your body make the B12 it needs. And what is great about this is that you can, it's not only for adults, you can feed it to your littles. You can use it through the belly buttons, placing it in there, or you can sprinkle it in a diaper and it absorbs right through the skin. So that is great for everyone, for all of these things we have going on. The next slide. So if you are taking are you taking a probiotic? Is it one from a drugstore or maybe a doctor's office? Or your kids taking one of those kids probiotics? Most of these options will be full of fillers or chemicals and possibly ingredients that you have allergies or sensitivities to. Some of them are loaded with sugar, which is not beneficial to the probiotics at all. It actually will end up killing them off. And your probiotic should not contain sugar and should be a supplement that is non-GMO, no fillers that hinder the probiotics good. And also a little good tidbit is that people who get sick a lot most likely have an off-kilter microbiome balance. So if when your gut's off like that, you'll tend to get sick more often. Next slide. So one of those fillers that we use, because the probiotics in there might be as much as what the tip of the pen is, so it doesn't take much to reach that 6 billion. So something else has to go in that capsule. And what Soul has done was, instead of using fillers or anything that your body does not need, they are feeding it with prebiotics and adaptogenic herbs that are going to help you balance the body more, help you with stress, mood, and everything else that is going to feed your gut. So one of these is red reishi, and this is the adaptogen that they chose to use. So this one can help manage stress. It can boost your mood and reduce fatigue. It can boost the immune system. It's anti-inflammatory, and it nourishes and supports the immune system, digestion, kidney, and liver functions, as well as the respiratory and cardiovascular systems. Indeed, this rather universal fungus has been used clinically to treat sleeping disorders, viral infections, diabetes, lung cancer, hepatitis, HIV, AIDS, chronic fatigue syndrome. It seems that red reishi is rather an innocuous substance which appears to benefit every part of the human condition without dangerous side effects. Next one. Next, we have Bacopa monnieri. I feel like I need to wake you up a little bit. So the best way to remember this herb is get in your Barry Manilow mode and call it Bacopa monnieri. That's how I remembered that herb, and I just had to share that with y'all. So this herb is often quoted in clinical studies that showed its significant positive impact on information retention and memory, something that is important to all of us. It also supports healthy mental focus, among other benefits. In a systematic review of controlled clinical trials, it shows positive impact on memory-free recall and may protect against cognitive decline, such as dementia. And the next one. So remember when I talked about earlier prebiotics that your probiotics feed on? This is what's in this blend. So you have this fiber tract blend. So you have your prebiotic and probiotic in that one capsule. So these two acid-resistant soluble fibers carry the product further into the GI tract, so it can do more of what it needs to do, and it has improved performance. So probiotics are very sensitive and often can be killed off in the stomach acid or by heat before ever reaching the destination in the gut. So konjac and xanthan, these two acid-resistant soluble fibers carry the product further into the GI tract for improved performance. This prebiotic combination ensures optimal use of the 6 bacteria listed previously. In fact, according to the Mayo Clinic, prebiotics are non-digestible carbohydrates that act as food for probiotics. When probiotics and prebiotics are combined, the combination adds in the proliferation of the beneficial bacteria, as the combination contains both the live bacteria and the fuel they need to thrive. And it helps carry the probiotics through the stomach into the intestines, protecting them against stomach acids. And the sole difference in that is that it's specifically blended as a clarifying formula. The ProBioIQ combines body and mind herbal benefits with proven strands of mood-focused probiotics to deliver a health supplement in vegetarian capsules. This unique blend of konjac and xanthan carries the product further into the GI tract, and it's going to enhance those results. So next slide. So konjac, this stimulates the body's ability to defend against damaging free radicals, improves the recovery of healthy microbiota after antibiotics and antifungals. So when used as a part of a bone scaffold to prevent bacterial infections, it helped inhibit the formation of staph infections. It also helps reduce risk factors from high fat intake that contribute to colon cancers. And it improves the ecology in the colon that may reduce the risk of colon cancer. Next slide. So you have 5 key benefits for probiotic IQ. One is mood. It helps the body manage the mood and anxiety. In your GI tract, it's healthy bacteria to support that GI tract. And the Bacopa monnieri supports memory and information retention. In immunity, it's a healthy bacteria that helps strengthen your body's immune system. And it helps you become regular, and it promotes consistent waste elimination of the bowels. The bowels, we know that's important to be regular in there. And the next one. So are you ready for a new approach to health? Daily supplementation with probiotics is now being seen the norm for people who want to enjoy a healthy, consistent lifestyle. So the reason so many individuals improve their diet and lifestyle, let me try that again. The reason so many individuals improve their diet and lifestyle, but still don't see the level of improvement they are striving for in their supplements, maybe because they haven't healed the root of the problem, which is the quality of the gut. And I'm gonna just say real quick too, that we have 6 billion, and a lot of times you'll hear, well, you need to have 30 billion. The reason why 30 billion is in some of the other capsules is because almost all of them die off before a few of them get to where they need to go. So 6 billion within this capsule will help it get to where it needs to go, and more is getting there than the brands that have the sugar in it, the other fillers that your body doesn't need. So just the plunge is worth it. Get you a bottle of Probio IQ, and also get with the person that invited you to watch this, and they'll help you order that and get you started. Does anybody have any questions? I see. Chris says, arriving in the large intestines, this Probio IQ delivers. Anybody has any testimonies? It's great for kids. Yes. Even babies. You can sprinkle it in their diaper. A lot of times it'll be put into the belly button, and it's all absorbed right through the skin.
Yep. I had a client that was mixing AC cream with the Probio for her newborn because he was super gassy and she didn't want to give him the other stuff that she was being suggested to give. So she did that, and she was taking Probio and Bertazymes herself. She was nursing, and it literally turned their entire life around. For sure. And myself, it took me from a B12 deficiency, like this is a probiotic, and you wouldn't think to take a probiotic like for a B12 deficiency, right? But this had me not need infusions or B12 supplementation because it's giving my body what it needs to make its own.
Yeah, a lot of people are finding out they have that MTHR mutation, which they become deficient in B vitamins, especially B12, and a lot of the supplements you find you don't even absorb. So if you can get your body to make it as it needs it, then it will utilize it.
All right, I'll stop the recording.